Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm Rita Hickman, body mind expert, shiatsu massage therapist, and I help women who are in narcissistic and toxic relationships break the trauma bonds and really move on with their life in a good way. So I use all my body work knowledge plus my love of understanding how the body mind works, plus my own background experiences with narcissists, both as a child, as an adult, and I've taken all of these lessons over the last 14 years that I've learned about trauma because I'm completely obsessed with it and with learning how to help women heal from it. And I take all that information and I share it so that you can finally break free of all of the emotional ties which are holding you back. So, over the years, I've seen or been involved with many ways to break trauma bonds. So let's just start with, I'll give an example of a trauma bond, and an example of how it's been suggested it be fixed. So when I went to Colombia, I had a wonderful opportunity to visit Colombia and with the Arawaku who live in the mountains there. And it was a little bit, Colombia is a very patriarchal sort of country. And then the indigenous tribes still were based on a patriarchal sort of system. So it was still sort of male dominated, and women were there to support. So it was mainly men in the positions of spiritual leadership and men in the positions of power. And they would have, the women would be there as a support. And so there was still a disparity, about women not quite having equal rights in many situations. And one of the women on the trip, we were a very small group of women, like 4 or 5 of us. One of the women on the trip was having a hard time breaking the ties with her ex-husband. And so the person who was leading us, the spiritual guide, the son of one of the grandson of one of the great spiritual leaders, told her, he says, well, the best way to break this bond is to have sex with me. And if you completely detach from all your emotions while you're having sex with me, then it will break the trauma bond between you and your ex-husband. Okay, theoretically, maybe logically, maybe in some other world, some multiverse, that would be really effective. But for someone who's dealing with the trauma bond, just having sex with someone that, while you're disassociated, is a terrible way to try to move forward. But these were the sorts of suggestions that have been around for thousands of years, unfortunately, and they're just not very effective at all. So other ways that people try to do things is they'll cut cords. So they'll have cutting cord ceremonies, which works on a subtle level, on a level that that can metaphorically or to the psyche be powerful, but isn't always quite fit. It's like everybody was trying to cut energetic cords using their best guess, using the things that should work or might work, or someone coming from their very different point of view, let's say a male, a patriarchal male, saying, you know what you need to do? You just need to, and I've heard this before. I can't even tell you how many times I've heard this before in spiritual circles. You just need to go get laid. You just need to go and just go to Mexico, just have sex with anybody you want, and let's see, and that should take care of it. And this was a sort of advice that was passed down, to try to help women heal from the traumas that they'd had by being treated like they were nothing, being treated like they were slaves, by being not having their thoughts heard. Just go on a bender, it'll be fine. So these were the kind of things that were passed down, that very personal growth and self-help has been male dominated. It's been men talking to women for a very long time. Men from their male perspective telling women what they should do in order to feel better. Okay, I'm going to say it. It's bullshit. Okay? It's bullshit. Having someone who has no idea what it's like to be you, what it's like to be female, what it's like to be in your position, what it's like to be dealing with things like that. Someone who doesn't understand is not going to get it. They're going to give you what might work well for them. You know, I'm sure them having sex with some random stranger would be, you know, very effective for them. But you know what, women, we're different. We have different needs. So a lot of the things that have been passed down on how to break the trauma bond with narcissists, exes, people who've hurt you, is to, you know, do something radical outside the box. And the problem is many times that stuff re-traumatizes you, because if you have sex with a stranger, they most likely don't care about you. It's just some experience that they're having, and you're going to be recreating the same sorts of feelings and experiences that you had before. If you have some man cutting cords for you, you know, it's going to be the same experience. It's Science has changed. The science of trauma has changed, and they've done a lot of research, and they have found the tools which have been passed down for thousands of years that help break those trauma bonds, and they've been able to back them up with science. In fact, it's called what is it? Energy psychology. So where we use the body, and we use the body mind specifically, acupressure points and touch and working with your nervous system and sound, and we understand the science behind it, so that you can flip the switch, so that you can actually get rid of the traumas, not just try to get rid of the traumas. You know, there's a lot of tools around which aren't based on I channeled it from another planet. Not saying that people don't channel things all the time, but we also know people have their own filters, their own opinions, their own ideas, and it has to go through their own humanity. Hence why so many men love giving women advice on how to move on or how to heal from trauma. You know, they've got good advice for themselves, but they don't know what it's like to be you. So science has found lots of different hacks that you can use, plus systems that you can use. And I'm a total nerd about it. So I use this with all of the women that I work with. We use these different tools, we use them in the right time, in the right way. And what it does is it physically breaks the bond. It's not just playing a mind game. It's not going to therapy for 4 decades, still talking about the same story about how your dad wasn't a nice guy or how he was a rageaholic. You're tired of that story. I'm tired of that story. We're tired of having our lives controlled by those stories. We're tired of having our lives controlled by narcissists, and having other narcissists come into your life to try to tell you what to do or how to break the bonds is not going to work very well. So there's practical tools which you can use, which get results within 60 seconds or less, because they work directly with the nervous system. They work directly with how the nervous system works, with how we process information, with how trauma is created in the first place. They have a lot of science around this. And so now we know which tools of all of these, you know, things that have been passed down, which ones work and which ones are just stuff that they came up to tell women what they should do again, you know? So listen, if you're feeling stuck or trapped, if you're tired of your own story and you're just feeling stressed and overwhelmed, which most of you probably are, then remember, there are some tools out there. There are tools that will help you heal, tools that will help you move forward. If you want to see some of these tools, visit some of my past live streams. You can find them on my page, Narcissist. I give tons and lots of tools, all of these body mind tools, which science is really backing up. Okay. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling trapped, explore me. Go to inspiremassage.com, explore what I say, explore what I do, and to know that you don't have to stay trapped in a level of stress, feeling like you're a survivor of a shipwreck. You don't have to keep doing it that way. Okay. So reach out, inspiremassage.com, soon to be ritahickmancoaching.com, and figure out that your life can be a whole hell of a lot better than it's been. Okay. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, a great week. I'm looking forward to mine, and I will talk to you later. Okay. All right. Bye.